She doesn't touch the handle. Her hand hovers, then pulls back like the wood might bite. The man stands a few steps behind her, hat low, eyes fixed, not on the door but on her. "Open it!" She shakes her head once. "No." His voice doesn't rise. "You're getting paid." She swallows. Not for that. The air between them tightens. Nothing moves. Not him. Not her. Just the sound of something faint inside the cabin, like a slow breath pressing against the walls. He shifts his weight but doesn't come closer. It's just a cabin. She looks at him now, sharp, certain. It's not. A pause settles in, heavy and stretched thin. He studies her face like he's looking for cracks. "You scared?" Her jaw tightens. "No." He tilts his head toward the door. "Then go." She doesn't break its stare. "You go first." He doesn't answer, doesn't move. The silence answers for him. The handle turns anyway. Slow, dry, like something inside is pulling it open. The door creaks inward without a hand on it. She stiffens. Always watching. Inside is dim. The light doesn't reach far. The smell hits first. Old wood soaked deep with something sour. Burnt oil clinging to the air. And underneath it, something wet and wrong that doesn't belong in a place that's been empty too long. She takes one step in, then stops. "You clean. I'll be outside." She glances back at him. "You're not staying?" His answer comes quick. Too quick. "I don't go in there." Her eyes narrow. Why? He doesn't reply, just lifts his chin toward the dark. "You want the money or not?" She hesitates, then steps fully inside. The floor groans under her weight like it remembers something it shouldn't. The door slams shut behind her, hard, sharp, final. She spins around, heart jumping. "Hey!" No answer. She grabs the handle, pulls. It doesn't move. "Open it!" This isn't funny. The silence stretches. Then something shifts. Not outside, inside. Close. Right behind her. A voice, low, small, too close. "You came back." She freezes where she stands. Every part of her locks. Who said that? The voice doesn't rush. It settles into the space like it belongs there. "You forgot me." Her throat tightens. She turns slowly, eyes searching the dark corners, the broken chair, the stained wall, the empty space that isn't empty at all. There's no one here. A soft sound follows. Not quite a laugh, not quite breath. "You left." She backs toward the door, hands shaking now. "I don't know you." The voice moves again, circling without sound. "You did." She yanks the handle again. This time it gives. The door swings open hard and she stumbles out into the light, gasping, like she's been underwater too long. He's still there. Same spot, same posture. Like he never moved, like he knew she'd come back out exactly like this. She stares at him, breath uneven. "You hear it?" He watches her closely. "Yeah." He nods once. Slow, certain, good. Her face twists, confusion mixing with something sharper. Anger. "Good?" He doesn't look away, means it's still there. She steps toward him. "You knew." His jaw tightens just a little. "I hoped." She shakes her head, trying to steady herself. "You brought me here for that?" He doesn't answer right away, just studies her like she's part of something he's been waiting to see. "You're still getting paid." Her laugh is short and dry. "That's not funny." "Wasn't meant to be." She looks back at the cabin, the open door, the dark inside that feels like it's watching her even now. "There's something wrong in there." "Yeah." "And you knew." "Yeah." She steps closer, lowering her voice. "What is it?" He finally looks at the cabin, not her. "Something that remembers." "Remembers what?" His eyes flick back to her. "You. That lands wrong. Deep." She shakes her head again, harder this time. "I've never been here." He doesn't argue, doesn't agree either, just says, "Go back in." She stares at him like he's lost his mind. "No, you have to." "No, I don't." His voice drops, firmer now. "You came for the job. I came to clean, not to." Whatever that is. He takes one step closer, not threatening, just enough. "It said something to you." She hesitates, just for a second. Then, "Yeah." "What?" Her voice lowers. "Said I came back." His eyes flicker. Something passes through them. Quick. Gone just as fast. "And?" She swallows. "Said I forgot." Silence again, heavy, pressing in. He nods slightly, like that confirms something for him. "You're still getting paid." She looks at him, searching for something human. Something honest. "Why me?" He doesn't answer right away. The wind shifts faintly through the trees, but it doesn't touch the cabin. Nothing touches the cabin. "Because it said your name before you walked in." Her stomach drops. You're lying. I don't lie about that place. She studies his face. He believes it, that's the worst part. What name? He looks at her, steady, unblinking, says it quietly. Says it like he's said it 100 times before when no one was around to hear it. Her name. Exactly. Perfect. Her breath catches. How would it know that? His answer is simple. Too simple. That's why you're here. She looks back at the cabin again, the open door, the dark waiting, her hands curl into fists. I should leave. He doesn't stop her, doesn't reach out, just says you can. She turns slightly, testing it, waiting for him to argue. He doesn't. That almost makes it worse. And the money? She asks. Yours either way, she frowns. Even if I walk? Yeah, that throws her. Then why do you care if I go back in? He looks at the cabin again. Longer this time. Because it doesn't stop if you don't. She feels that settle somewhere deep she can't explain. What doesn't stop? He meets her eyes again. It. Silence hangs between them. Thick. She looks at the ground, then back at the door. You're not coming in? His answer doesn't change. No, not even if I ask? No. She lets out a slow breath, steadying herself. Then you better stay right there, he nods once. I will. She turns back to the cabin. Takes a step forward. Stops. The door waits open, dark inside. Still, like it's been expecting her the whole time. She pauses at the threshold. If something happens, I'll hear it. That's not the same as helping. It's all I got. She studies him one last time. Then nods more to herself than to him. Fine, she steps inside again. The light fades behind her. The smell returns, stronger now. The floor creaks like it recognizes her weight. Behind her, the door begins to move, slow. Quiet, closing again without a hand. Outside, he doesn't move, doesn't look away. Just listens as the door shuts completely. The door closes behind her again, and the sound feels final, like it locks something in place that was already decided. She stands still just inside, letting her eyes adjust, letting her breathing slow enough to hear what the room is doing. I'm not staying long. Her voice comes out tighter than she wants. Outside, through the wood, his answer comes low and steady. You don't need long. She swallows and takes another step in. The air feels heavier now, thicker, like it's pressing closer around her shoulders. The smell hasn't faded. It's worse. Damp wood, something old and soaked deep into the grain, something that shouldn't still be there but is. She looks around. Same broken chair. Same warped table. Same walls that feel like they're holding something in instead of keeping anything out. You hear anything? She calls. No, he answers. Just you. She nods even though he can't see it. Good. She moves deeper into the room. The floor shifts under her boots, a low creak that doesn't match her step. She pauses, listens. Another creak follows, softer, like it comes from somewhere just ahead of her, not under her. She frowns and takes one more step. The sound comes again, wrong in a way she can't explain. That's not normal, she mutters. What is it, he asks. Floor's off. Rot? No. She presses her foot down carefully. The board dips slightly, then rises. Too soft, it's hollow. Silence outside for a second, then check it. She hesitates, looks around again. The voice from before doesn't come back, not yet, just the quiet, just the weight of the room watching her. She crouches slowly, setting one hand on the floor. The wood feels colder than it should. There's something under here. Her voice is low now, careful. Dig it out, he says without pause. She glances toward the door. You sure? Yeah. She exhales and shifts her weight, running her fingers along the edge of the board. There's a seam. Rough. Forced. Not part of the original build. Someone opened this before, she says. Then open it again. She wedges her fingers into the gap and pulls. The board resists at first, then gives with a dry crack. She pulls harder, prying it up until it lifts free enough to expose the dark space beneath. Dust rises, thick and stale. She coughs lightly, waving it away. There's something here. What? She leans closer, peering into the gap. A box. Take it out. She reaches in slowly, fingers brushing against something wrapped, cloth worn thin and stiff with age. She grips it and pulls. It's heavier than she expects. She sets it down on the floor beside her, staring at it for a second before touching it again. It's wrapped. Open it. She hesitates. You said dig it out. I didn't say open it. A beat passes, then his voice quieter now. Don't open it. She looks toward the door again, confused. You just said, I changed my mind. She frowns. Why? Just don't. She studies the bundle in front of her. The cloth is tied tight, knotted in a way that feels deliberate, careful. Like whoever wrapped it didn't want it coming loose. You told me to dig, she says. Not that far. She lets out a short breath. That doesn't make sense, doesn't have to. She stares at the bundle a second longer, then shakes her head. Too late. Her fingers move before she can second-guess it. She pulls at the knot. The cloth resists, then loosens, then falls open in her hands. The smell shifts again, sharper now, older, something buried too long. She freezes as the contents come into view. What is it? He asks. She doesn't answer right away. Her throat tightens. A dress. Silence. What kind? She swallows hard. Small. Her fingers hover over it but don't touch, child-sized. Outside, nothing. No reply. She forces herself to look closer. The fabric is faded, worn thin at the edges, the color hard to make out under the stains. Dark patches spread across it, uneven, soaked deep into the cloth. It's stained, she says quietly. With what? Her voice drops further. I don't know. But she does. She just doesn't want to say it. You buried this, she asks, louder now, pushing the words toward the door. His answer comes fast. No. She looks up, anger flickering through the fear. Then who? Silence answers her this time. Long. Heavy. She waits. Who? She repeats. Nothing. The air shifts again, subtle but real, like something just stepped closer without making a sound. Then the voice returns. Not from outside, not from any one place. Just there in the room, close enough to feel. She did. The girl jerks back, the dress slipping from her hands onto the floor. No, she breathes. No. You found it, the voice says, soft and pleased. She scrambles back a step, eyes wide, scanning the empty corners again. Who's she? The answer comes without pause. You know. Her head shakes hard. I don't. The voice lingers, then repeats, slower this time. You know. Her hands are shaking now, fingers curling in tight against her palms like she's trying to stop them. She looks down at the dress again. Something about it pulls at her. Not memory, not clear. Just a feeling that sits heavy in her chest. I've never been here, she says, more to herself than anything else. You have? The voice replies. No. You left it. She shakes her head again, harder. That's not true. You forgot. Outside, the man shifts slightly, just enough to make the wood creak under his boot. What's happening in there, he calls. She doesn't answer right away. Her eyes stay locked on the dress, on the stains, on the way the fabric looks like it still holds the shape of something small that once wore it. It's talking again, she says finally. What did it say? Her voice barely holds steady. Says I left it. Silence outside. Then, that's not possible. She lets out a short, sharp breath. I know that. The voice inside hums low, almost amused. Do you? She presses her hands against her temples, trying to push the sound out. Stop. You came back, it whispers. I didn't. You did. She looks toward the door again, desperate now. I'm bringing this out. No, he says quickly. Leave it there. Why? Just do it. She stares at the dress again. At the open box, at the space in the floor where it was hidden. It feels like it was waiting, she says. For what? She doesn't answer right away. Her eyes stay fixed. For me. Outside he goes still again. Completely still. Listening. Waiting. Like he's heard those words before and has been waiting to hear them again. Inside, the girl doesn't move. Her hands still shake, but slower now. Not from fear alone. Something else is settling in. Something heavier. Something that doesn't feel new. The voice softens, almost gentle now. You found it. She swallows, doesn't argue this time. Just whispers. She doesn't move from where she kneels. The dress lies in her lap now, folded without her remembering doing it, her hands resting on top like they belong there. The air feels tighter, closer, like the room has leaned in. Outside, he shifts again, just enough for the boards under him to sound. You still in there, he calls. She answers without looking at the door. Yeah. Her voice is quieter now, thinner. He waits a second. You hear it again? She swallows. Yeah. A pause follows. Then he asks slower this time, like he's choosing each word. You ever been here? Her head lifts slightly, but her eyes stay on the dress. No, he doesn't respond right away. The silence stretches. You sure? She tightens her grip on the fabric. I said no. The voice inside the cabin shifts, closer now, almost brushing her ear. You forget easy. She flinches. Stop! Outside, he hears the word, but not who it's for. What? She shakes her head. Nothing. Her gaze drifts again, not fully in the room anymore. Something else is pulling at her, something just out of reach. You ever seen that dress before, he asks. She hesitates. No. Then, softer, unsure now. I don't think so. The voice hums low. You do. Her fingers tighten again. I don't remember. He steps a little closer to the door, not inside yet, just near enough to feel the air change. Try. The word lands heavier than it should. She closes her eyes without meaning to. Her breathing slows, the room fades just enough for something else to push through. Not clear, not whole, just pieces. I see trees. Her voice is distant now, like she's speaking from somewhere else. He leans in slightly. Keep going, she swallows, her brow tightening. They're close together. Yeah, too close. The voice inside the cabin whispers along with her. Cold. She nods faintly. Cold. He watches the doorway, listening hard. What else? She shifts where she kneels like the ground under her has changed. There's a path. Where? Behind the cabin. He exhales slowly. Yeah. Her voice shakes now. It's narrow. Keep going. She presses her eyes tighter shut. It leads somewhere. Where? A long pause, then, quieter, like she doesn't want to say it. A well. The word hangs there. Heavy final. Outside he goes still, completely still. Yeah, he says under his breath. She opens her eyes suddenly, breath-catching. I see it. What? The well? Her hands start to tremble again. It's open. He takes a step forward without thinking. What else? She looks up now. Straight at the doorway, though her eyes don't quite see him. You're there. His jaw tightens. Doing what? She stares at him. But it's not really him she's seeing. You're digging. Silence drops hard between them. Thick, unmoving. He doesn't speak right away. When he does, his voice is low, almost flat. I don't remember that. The voice inside the cabin answers before she can. You didn't want to. She flinches again, looking around sharply. Stop talking, you asked. You came back. She shakes her head hard. No. Outside, he steps right up to the doorway now, just at the edge, not crossing in. What else do you see? She looks at him, really looks this time. But something in her expression has shifted, something deeper, something older. You're not alone, his chest tightens. Who's with me? She hesitates. Her lips part, then press together again. Say it, he pushes. Who? Her voice drops to a whisper. A girl. The air inside the cabin shifts again, colder now. The voice hums, pleased. Me. He closes his eyes briefly, then opens them again. What's she doing? She stares past him now, like she's watching it happen. She's still how? On the ground. His breath catches just for a second. Is she alive? The question hangs there. She doesn't answer right away. Her hands grip the dress tighter. I don't know. Look again. I don't want to. Look. Her jaw tightens. Slowly, unwillingly, she focuses again. She's not moving. Silence. And you? He asks. What am I doing? Her eyes flick back to him. This time, there's something accusing in them. You're covering her. He stiffens. With what? Dirt. The word lands like a weight. He doesn't move, doesn't breathe. I didn't do that, he says, but it sounds weaker now. She tilts her head slightly, studying him like she's seeing him for the first time. You didn't want to remember. The voice laughs softly, childlike. Wrong. You both lie. She jerks back, pushing herself to her feet, putting space between her and the open floor. Who are you? She demands, voice shaking now. The answer comes quick. Certain. You left me. Her back hits the wall. I don't know you. You did. No. You held me. Her breath catches. Stop. Outside. He can hear the panic rising in her voice. What's it saying? She shakes her head, pressing her hands to her ears. I don't want this. Tell me. Her eyes snap back to the doorway. It says I left it. He exhales slowly. Like that confirms something he already feared. And? She hesitates, then forces the words out. Says I held it. His gaze drops for a second, then lifts again. That's not possible. The voice cuts in, sharper now. You know it is. She looks around wildly. Where are you? Right here. Show yourself. You already see me. Her eyes dart back to the dress in her hands. She drops it like it burns. No. The voice softens again. You remember. She shakes her head, stepping away from it. I don't. You will. Outside, he finally moves, one step forward, then another. He crosses the threshold. The moment his boot touches the cabin floor, everything changes. The air stills completely. The creaking stops. Even the faint movement of dust seems to hang in place. The voice goes quiet, not gone, just waiting. He stands just inside now, eyes scanning the room, then settling on her. She stares at him like she doesn't fully recognize him anymore. "You came in," she says. He nods once. "Yeah, you said you wouldn't." "I lied." A beat passes. The silence presses in harder now. She looks at him, then at the floor, then back at him. "You brought me here." His jaw tightens again. "No." She takes a step toward him. "You did." He shakes his head. "I didn't." Her voice hardens. "You did." The word echoes slightly in the still room. The voice returns, soft and close, right between them. "You both lie." Neither of them moves. She looks at him, eyes wide, searching. "What happened here?" He doesn't answer. Not yet. The cabin feels like it's holding its breath, waiting, just like him. He doesn't answer her question. The silence stretches, thick and tight, like the walls are holding it in place. She watches him, waiting, but his eyes move past her, scanning the room like he's looking for something that hasn't shown itself yet. "Say something," she pushes. His jaw shifts. "Not yet." She exhales sharply. That's not good enough. He doesn't argue, doesn't soften. Just stands there, shoulders set, like he's bracing for something he already knows is coming. The air in the cabin feels still again, but not empty. Waiting, always waiting. She turns away from him, needing space, her eyes dragging across the walls, the broken furniture, the dark corners that seem to hold more than shadow. Then she stops. Something catches. A mark. Faint at first, then clearer the longer she looks. "Look at this." Her voice is low, uncertain. He doesn't move right away. "What is it?" She steps closer to the wall, brushing dirt aside with her fingers. "A name." He steps forward now, slower than before, careful, like each step matters. "What name?" She leans in, tracing the letters with her eyes before saying it out loud. "Leela." The word settles into the room and doesn't leave. He freezes, completely, his breath stalls. She doesn't see it yet. She's too focused on the carving. The letters are rough, deep, not clean, scratched in with force like whoever made them didn't stop until the wood gave way. "It's carved hard," she says, "real hard." He takes another step closer, now beside her, his eyes locked on the wall. He doesn't speak. Not yet. She glances at him. "You know her?" He answers too fast. "No." She watches his face, the tightness in it, the way his eyes don't leave the name. "You're lying again." His jaw tightens. "I said no." The voice hums softly, low and close, like it's right between them. "You both lie." She flinches, then turns back to the wall. Something about the carving pulls at her. Not just the name. The way it's written, the shape of it. Her hand lifts without thinking. "Don't," he says quickly. She pauses midair. "Why?" He doesn't answer right away. "Just don't." She ignores him. Her fingers press against the carved letters. The moment her skin touches the grooves, something shifts. Not in the room. In her, her breath catches sharp in her chest. Her hand trembles against the wood. "What is it?" he asks, stepping closer. She doesn't look at him. Can't. "That's my handwriting." The words come out thin. Barely there. He stares at her. "No." She pulls her hand back slightly, then presses it again, like she needs to be sure. "I know how I write." Silence falls hard. He shakes his head once. "You carved it?" She swallows. "I don't remember doing it." The voice hums again, softer now, almost gentle. "You were crying." She jerks her hand away, like the wall burned her. "Stop." Her voice cracks this time. "Stop talking." The voice doesn't stop. "You wouldn't stop." She backs away from the wall, shaking her head, her breathing uneven. "I don't want this." The words spill out fast now. "I didn't do this." He watches her, something heavy settling in his face, something close to recognition. "It already wants you," he says quietly. She looks at him, anger flashing through the fear. "Don't say that." "It's true. You don't know that." "I do." She steps closer to him now, pushing back against the panic. "Then say it. Say what this is." He doesn't answer right away. His eyes move back to the wall, to the name, to the grooves cut deep into the wood like they were meant to last. His voice comes slower now. "Careful. I had a daughter." The words land heavy. She goes still. "What?" He keeps his eyes on a long time ago. She shakes her head slightly. What does that have to do with me? He doesn't look at her. Everything. Her stomach tightens. What was her name? He finally turns to face her. His eyes are steady, but there's something breaking underneath. Lila, the room shifts. Not physically, but everything in it feels different now, like a line just got drawn that can't be undone. She stares at him, her mind trying to catch up, trying to reject it at the same time. No, he doesn't argue, doesn't defend it. Just stands there with it. The voice returns, quieter now, almost soft. He remembers. She shakes her head harder. That's not me. You wrote her name, he says. You said it was your handwriting. That doesn't mean anything. It does here. She steps back again, putting space between them and the wall. I've never met you. I know. Then how? She stops. The question hangs there, unfinished, because she doesn't want the answer. He watches her, waiting for her to push through it. She doesn't, not yet. Her eyes flick back to the carving, to the name that feels too familiar now. Why is it here? She asks quietly. He follows her gaze. Because someone wanted it remembered. Who? The voice answers before he can. You did. She shuts her eyes tight. No, you didn't want him to forget. Her chest tightens. I don't even know him. The voice softens again. You did. She opens her eyes slowly, looking at the name one more time. The letters feel different now. Not just scratches, not just marks. Something held in place, something waiting. She looks at him again. Really looks this time. Not as the man who brought her here. Something else, something tied to all of this. What happened to her? She asks. He doesn't answer right away. His gaze drops to the floor for a second, then lifts again. She died. The word sits heavy between them. How? She asks. He opens his mouth, then closes it again. The silence says enough. The voice hums low, almost like it's smiling. He left. She flinches. Stop. But she doesn't tell it to stop for her anymore. She says it for him. He hears it anyway. Feels it. His eyes don't leave hers. I didn't mean to, he says low, like he's talking to someone else now, not just her. I know, the voice whispers. She shakes her head again, trying to push through the noise, through the weight of it all. This isn't real. It is, says. No, it is. Her breathing quickens. Her eyes dart from him to the wall, to the floor where the dress still lies. Everything feels connected now. Too connected. I don't want this, she repeats. He steps a little closer. Not threatening, not soft either. Just steady. Doesn't matter. She looks at him, something breaking open behind her eyes. Why me? He holds her gaze, long, quiet, then answers the only way he can. Because it remembers you. The cabin goes still again, completely still, like it heard that and agreed. The stillness holds for a second after his words, then cracks. The air shifts, tighter, colder, pressing in around them like the walls have leaned closer. She feels it first in her chest, a weight that wasn't there before. He sees it in her face. What is it? She doesn't answer. Her eyes drift past him, unfocused, like something else has taken hold. The voice comes back, closer than before, right behind her shoulder. You said you'd come back. She stiffens. He hears it this time, clear as his own breath. His jaw tightens. I did come back, he says, low, steady. The reply snaps back, sharp and bitter. Too late. The word cuts through the room. She flinches hard, her hands rising to her head like she can block it out. Stop, she whispers. Stop talking. The voice doesn't listen. It presses in harder. You left me there. He steps forward without thinking, eyes searching the empty space. I buried you. The answer comes fast, angry now. You buried the wrong thing. The room shifts again. The floor creaks in a way that doesn't match their weight. The walls groan low, like something inside them is moving. She shakes her head, stumbling back a step. No, she says, breath quick, uneven. No, no. He reaches for her, stops short, unsure if touching her will make it worse. What do you see? He asks. She swallows hard, her gaze snapping down to the floor, then up again like she's watching something no one else can. I see it now. Her voice is thin, pulled tight. See what? His voice is sharper now, urgent. She blinks fast, like the images are coming too quick. The word lands heavy again, but this time it carries more detail, more weight. He doesn't speak, doesn't interrupt. She takes a shaky breath. It's open. Yeah, he says quietly. It always was. Her hands tremble harder. You're there. He closes his eyes for a second, then opens them again. I know. You're holding something. She swallows, her voice catching. A bundle. His chest tightens. Keep going. She shakes her head once, like she doesn't want to. I don't want to see this. You have to. The voice hums, pleased, pushing her forward. Look, her breath stutters. You throw it in. The words come out in a rush. Silence slams down. He doesn't answer, doesn't deny it this time. She looks at him, eyes wide, searching for anything that makes this not real. You threw something in. He stays still. The silence says enough. Her voice rises, panic breaking through. The voice does. Me. She gasps, stumbling back, until her legs hit the wall. No. Yes, the voice sharpens again. You didn't even look. He shakes his head once. Slow. I thought she was gone. The reply hits harder than before. You thought wrong. The air snaps tight. The walls creak louder now. The sound running through the cabin like something alive inside it is waking up. She presses her hands against her ears, but it doesn't help. The voice isn't outside. It's inside the room, inside her. Stop! She says again, louder now. Stop! You didn't check, the voice pushes. You didn't listen. He steps closer to her now, his voice low, strained. I couldn't hear anything. The answer comes back like a strike. Because you didn't stay. Her knees buckle. She drops hard to the floor, the impact echoing through the boards. No, she breathes. No, I don't want this. He crouches down in front of her, close but not touching. Look at me, he says. She doesn't. Her eyes are locked on something else, something below, something deeper. She's moving, she whispers. What? In the well. His breath catches. How? Her voice shakes. She's not gone. The voice softens, almost tender now, but it cuts deeper that way. I was still breathing. The words land slow, heavy, final. He closes his eyes again. But it doesn't block it out. Nothing does. No, he says under his breath. No. She looks up at him, tears in her eyes now, confusion mixing with something sharper. Accusation. You didn't check if she was alive. He opens his eyes, meets her gaze. There's no defense left in them now. Just something raw. I thought she was gone. The room seems to lean in closer. The voice answers, quiet but certain. You thought wrong, then it breaks. A sound tears through the cabin, sharp and loud, not just a scream, but something deeper. Something that feels like it's coming from the walls themselves. The boards shake under them, the loose plank rattling, the box shifting where it sits. Dust falls from the ceiling in thin streams. She cries out, curling in on herself as the sound fills her head. Stop it, she yells. Stop. He reaches for her now, gripping her shoulders, steadying her as the room trembles. Look at me, he says again louder. Stay here. She shakes under his hands. I can't, she gasps. It's too loud. The scream doesn't fade. It builds, rising higher, sharper, until it feels like it might tear the whole place apart. The voice cuts through it, clear, strong, right between them. You left me. He bows his head slightly, just for a second, then lifts it again. I know. The admission lands heavy, real. The shaking slows just a little. The sound drops, not gone, but lower, like it's listening now. She stares at him, her breathing ragged. Why didn't you go back? He swallows, his grip on her loosening slightly. I was afraid. The word hangs there, small compared to everything else. The voice answers softer now, but no less sharp. So was I. Silence follows that, heavy, still. The cabin settles, the creaking fading, the dust falling quiet again. She sits there on the floor, staring at him, the pieces starting to fit in ways she doesn't want them to. She was still breathing, she says, barely above a whisper. He doesn't argue, doesn't look away. Just nods once, slow, like he's finally saying it out loud for the first time. Yeah. She stays on her knees for a moment after the shaking stops, breath still uneven, eyes fixed somewhere past him. The silence that follows is worse than the noise. It feels like something has settled instead of left. He watches her, waiting for her to say something, anything that sounds like herself again. She doesn't. Her head tilts slightly, like she's listening to something far away that's getting closer. What is it? He asks, quieter now. She blinks once, slow, then looks past him toward the door. I need to go. The words come out steady, too steady for what just happened. He stiffens. Where? She doesn't hesitate. The trees. His jaw tightens. No, she pushes herself up to her feet, shaky at first, then steadier, like something is holding her upright. I hear her. The voice slips in under her words, softer now, almost gentle. Come find me. He steps in front of her, blocking the door without touching her. You don't have to do this. She looks at him, but there's distance in her eyes. Yes, I do. He shakes his head once. You don't even know what you're walking into. Her answer comes fast. I do. The voice hums low, pleased. You remember. She moves to step around him. He doesn't grab her, doesn't stop her, just shifts enough to stay in her way. Listen to me, he says, firmer now. Out there, it's worse. She meets his gaze, and for a second, something real pushes through. Something human. It's already worse. That lands. He doesn't argue that. Can't. She steps around him. This time he lets her. The door is already open. Neither of them remembers it being open. The air outside feels different. Not cleaner, just wider, like it has more space to carry whatever is coming next. She steps out first. The ground is rough under her feet. She doesn't notice until her boots catch slightly on the threshold. She looks down, then bends and pulls them off without a word. He watches, confused. What are you doing? She doesn't look at him. I can't wear these. Why not? She sets them aside by the door. She didn't. The answer sits wrong. He doesn't push it. She steps forward again, barefoot now, her steps uneven at first, then finding a rhythm that doesn't match the ground so much as something she already knows. You don't have to do this, he says again. Following a few steps behind, she keeps moving. Yes, I do. He exhales slowly, running a hand over his face. He doesn't try to get ahead of her, doesn't try to lead. He falls in behind her instead, not to stop her, just to be there when it happens. Because he knows now, there's no stopping it. The trees ahead stand close together, branches hanging low, blocking out what little light there is. She doesn't slow as she reaches them. She steps into the narrow space without hesitation. The moment she passes between the first two trunks, the air shifts again. Tighter. Colder. The sounds from the cabin disappear completely, like they've been cut off. All that's left is the faint crunch of dirt under her bare feet and her breathing, steady but thin. He follows her in, the space closing behind him. The path isn't clear at first glance. Just uneven ground, roots breaking through, shadows layered on shadows. But she moves like she knows exactly where to step. You remember the path? He asks, keeping his voice low. She doesn't look back. I never forgot. The words land different this time. There's no hesitation in them, no confusion. Just truth. He nods to himself, even though she can't see it. All right. They move deeper. The trees press in closer, their branches brushing against her shoulders, catching lightly in her hair. She doesn't react, doesn't push them away, just keeps going. The voice comes again, faint but clear, drifting through the trees. This way. She adjusts her path slightly without thinking. He notices. You hear that? She nods. Yeah, what's it saying? Her answer is quiet. Follow. He glances around, the woods feeling wrong in a way that has nothing to do with darkness or silence. It feels like being watched from every direction at once. You sure that's a good idea? She doesn't slow. No. Then why? Because she's still there. The certainty in her voice cuts him off. He doesn't argue after that. The ground dips slightly as they move forward, the air growing colder with each step. The smell changes too. Damp earth, stagnant water, something old that's been sitting too long. He knows what's ahead before they reach it. He's known since she said the word. She slows just a little now, her steps more careful as the ground shifts under her feet. The voice grows clearer, closer. She breathes in sharply. I know. He watches her closely, ready to catch her if she stumbles, but she doesn't. She stays upright, steady, like she's being guided. The trees thin just enough to open a small clearing. He sees it before she does, the shape of it. The outline burned into his memory, whether he wants it there or not. The well stands ahead, dark and still, its edges worn and cracked with time. She steps into the clearing and stops. For the first time since she left the cabin, she hesitates. He comes up just behind her, not touching, just close enough to feel the same air. Neither of them speaks for a moment. Then she takes one small step forward. She's here, she says, her voice barely more than a breath. He nods once, even though it's not something that needs confirming. Yeah. The voice rises from the well now, soft but clear. You came back. She closes her eyes for a second, steadying herself, then opens them again. Yeah, she whispers. Behind her, he doesn't move, doesn't reach out. He just stands there, knowing exactly where this path leads and knowing there's nothing left to do but follow it to the end. She doesn't step back from the edge. The clearing holds still around them, the trees closing in just enough to keep everything inside. He stops a pace behind her, close enough to reach, not close enough to touch. There. Her voice is quiet, almost empty. He answers just as low. Yeah. The well stands in front of them, stone worn down, rim chipped, the dark inside holding its own kind of weight. No wind moves through it, no sound comes out at first. Just that open mouth waiting. She takes a small step forward. He stiffens. Careful. She doesn't answer. Her eyes are fixed on the opening like it's pulling her. You threw her in. The words come out flat. He flinches like they hit him. I didn't mean. She cuts him off without looking back. You didn't check. The voice rises from below, thin but clear. I was cold. He swallows hard, stepping closer despite himself. I'm sorry. The reply comes softer, but sharper. I called you. She moves closer to the edge, her toes brushing the dirt line where the ground dips toward the stone. He reaches out halfway, stops again. Don't go too close. She leans forward slightly, listening. I hear her still. The words sound like a fact she can't change. The voice echoes it. Still. He shakes his head once, trying to steady himself. It's not real. The answer rises up, quiet and sure. It is. She bends a little more. Don't, he says, firmer now. Don't lean. She doesn't stop. I need to see. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Her voice holds. Stronger now. He steps closer, almost at her side. You're going to fall. She shakes her head. I won't. The voice hums low, drawing her in. Look. She grips the stone edge with her fingers, knuckles whitening as she leans further. He moves fast now, reaching for her arm. Don't? Too late. She looks down. The darkness shifts. Not empty, not still. Something sits inside it. Waiting, she freezes, her breath catching hard in her chest. What do you see? He asks, his voice tight. She doesn't answer right away. Her body goes still in a way that feels wrong. Then she whispers, Water. He exhales once. Yeah, it's not moving. It never did. The voice rises again, closer now, almost at the surface. I was there. She leans just a little more, her face hovering over the opening. I know. He tightens his grip on her arm. That's enough. She doesn't pull away. Wait. The dark surface shifts again, a faint ripple spreading across it without cause. She stares harder, her eyes narrowing. His chest tightens. Don't. There is. The ripple settles, the surface smooths, and then she sees it. Not her reflection. Not his. A face. Small, pale, wrong. She gasps. The sound sharp and sudden. No. He pulls at her arm. What? She can't look away. The voice answers, soft and close. It's me. The face in the water holds still, eyes open, fixed upward, skin broken and dark in places, hair clinging wet against its cheeks. It doesn't move. It doesn't blink. It just looks. Waiting, she jerks back slightly, but her eyes stay locked on it. No, she says again, louder this time. No, he pulls her back harder. Step away. She stumbles one step back but doesn't fully break from it. I see her. His voice drops. I know. The voice rises again, stronger now. You left me. He closes his eyes for a second, then opens them again. I know. The face in the water shifts just enough to change the angle. The eyes still locked upward, still holding. I was cold, it says. The sound doesn't come from her mouth. It comes from below. He shakes his head, his grip tightening again. I'm sorry, the reply is immediate. I called you. His voice cracks slightly now. I know. She stares down again, unable to stop herself. She's still there. The words come out hollow. She didn't leave. The voice softens, but it cuts deeper. You didn't come. He exhales slowly, his shoulders dropping under the weight of it. I came back, too late. The clearing tightens. The air presses in. She leans forward again without thinking. I can hear her back breathing. His head snaps up. No, I can. Her voice shakes now. It's faint, but it's there. The voice answers from below. It was. He pulls at her again, more force this time. Get back. She resists just enough to keep her balance near the edge. Wait, no, I need to see. You've seen enough. The face in the water shifts again, the eyes still fixed, the mouth parting just slightly. Why didn't you look? It asks. He freezes, completely. The question hangs in the air. He doesn't answer. Can't. She looks at him, tears building now. Why didn't you check? He meets her gaze, and there's nothing left in his face to hide behind. I thought she was gone. The voice answers, sharper now. You thought wrong. The water ripples hard this time, the surface breaking, distorting the face for a second before it settles again. She gasps, pulling back instinctively. He uses the moment to pull her fully away from the edge, stepping between her and the well. That's enough. She stumbles back, her breathing uneven, her eyes still trying to go back to it. She's still down there, she says. Voice breaking. She never left. He stands firm now, blocking the opening. I know. The voice rises again, louder now, carrying more weight. The well doesn't forget. The words echo, not just from below, but from the trees, the ground, the air itself. She wraps her arms around herself, shaking. I don't want to hear it anymore. He doesn't turn away from the well. You're going to. The voice softens again, almost gentle, almost kind. You came back. She closes her eyes tight. I didn't. You did. She opens them again, looking at him, desperate for something solid. Make it stop. He doesn't answer right away. His eyes stay on the dark opening behind him. Then he says, low and certain, it doesn't stop. The voice hums in agreement, quiet and steady. It doesn't forget. The echo of the well's voice lingers in the clearing, low and steady, like it has settled into the ground itself. She stands just behind him, arms wrapped tight around her body, eyes still drawn to the dark opening he now blocks. Her breathing hasn't slowed. It comes in short pulls, like she's still standing on the edge. The voice rises again, closer than before, no longer distant, no longer buried. You left me. He doesn't turn. His shoulders tighten. I'm here now. The reply comes without hesitation. Too late. The words land softer this time, but they cut deeper. She shakes her head, stepping back once, then again. No, she whispers. No. The air shifts. Not colder, not heavier. Just different. The anger that filled it before fades, replaced by something quieter, something worse. The voice softens, almost calm now. Take my place. She freezes, completely still. What? The word barely makes it out. The voice answers simply. Stay. Her head shakes hard. No. He turns slightly now, just enough to see her face. Don't listen to it. She looks at him, panic rising again. You hear that? Yeah. It wants me to stay. I know. I'm not doing that. The voice hums low, patient. You will. She steps further back, putting more space between herself and the well. No, I won't. He turns fully now, moving toward her, placing himself between her and the edge again. You don't have to. She nods quickly. I know. The voice interrupts, sharper for a moment. She does. He lifts his chin slightly, eyes fixed on the well. No. The voice pauses, then shifts again, softer, almost reasoning. She remembers. She shakes her head again, faster now. I don't. You do. I don't. Her voice cracks. I don't. He steps closer to her, lowering his voice. Look at me. She does, barely holding it together. You're not staying here. She swallows. Then make it stop. He doesn't answer that, because he can't. The voice returns, steady, certain. Take my place. She squeezes her eyes shut. No, stay. No, stay. No. Each word hits harder than the last. He turns back toward the well. Something shifting in his stance, something settling into place. Take me instead. The words come out clear, firm. She looks at him, stunned. What? He doesn't look at her. Take me. The voice stills for a moment, like it's considering. Then it answers, quiet and cutting. You already left once. He nods slightly. I know. You don't get to choose twice. Silence drops between them again. Heavy. He breathes in slow. Steady, I won't leave again. The voice doesn't rise this time. It stays low, close. You don't decide that. She steps toward him, grabbing his arm. Stop. He glances at her, but his focus doesn't break. It's the only way. No, it's not. Her grip tightens. You don't even know what it wants. The voice answers for him. I do. She looks toward the well, shaking her head. No. Yes. Her voice rises again, desperate. I didn't do this. The reply comes immediate. You remember it. She stumbles back a step, the words hitting something inside her she can't hold back anymore. That doesn't mean I did it. You were there. I don't remember being there. You will. He steps forward again, closer to the edge now, his boots stopping just short of the stone. She reaches for him again. Don't. He doesn't pull away, but he doesn't stop either. It's my fault. That doesn't fix it. It might. It won't. The voice hums again, softer now, almost approving. Closer. He takes another step. She grabs him harder this time, pulling back with both hands. No. He finally looks at her fully. If it takes me, it leaves you. You don't know that. I do. You don't. Her eyes are wide now, filled with something stronger than fear. You don't get to decide that for me. He studies her face for a second, something shifting there, something close to regret. You didn't ask for this. Neither did you. I caused it. She shakes her head again, harder. Then face it. Don't run into it. The voice cuts in, sharper now. That's enough. Both of them freeze. The air tightens again, the softness gone. Something more certain takes its place. You don't bargain. He exhales slowly. I'm not bargaining. You don't choose. She steps in front of him now, blocking him the way he blocked her before. She's right. He frowns. What? She holds his gaze. Steadier now despite the fear still shaking through her. You don't get to choose twice. He stares at her, something breaking open in his expression. I'm trying to fix it. You can't fix it like that. The voice hums low, satisfied. She understands. She doesn't look away from him. I didn't do this. He nods once. I know, but I remember it. He nods again, slower this time. Yeah, she swallows. That means something. It does. She takes a breath, steadying herself. But it doesn't mean I stay. The voice answers immediately. It does. She shakes her head stronger now. No. The clearing tightens again. The trees pressing in just enough to remind them they're still inside something that's watching. He looks between her and the well, caught for a second between two things he can't hold at once. Then what? He asks, low. She doesn't answer right away. Her eyes drift back to the well, then to the ground, then back to him. The voice waits, quiet now, patient again. Choose, it says. The word hangs there, heavy final. She closes her eyes for a second, her breath slowing just enough to think through the noise. Then she opens them again, looking at him with something new in her face. Not fear, not confusion, something steadier. That's enough, she says. The words land different, stronger than anything she's said so far. The voice goes still, completely still, like it's listening in a new way now. He watches her, unsure for the first time. What are you doing? She doesn't look at him. Her eyes stay on the well. I'm done letting it tell me what I am. The silence that follows feels like a shift. Not an end, not yet, but something has changed. The silence after her words doesn't break right away. It stretches across the clearing, pressing into the ground, settling into the well. He watches her, unsure now in a way he hasn't been before. She stands still for a second, her breathing slow, her eyes steady on the dark opening. Then she speaks. I'll do it. The words land clean. Final. He shakes his head immediately. No, she doesn't look at him. I'll stay. He steps closer, his voice sharper now. You don't understand. She turns her head just enough to meet his eyes. I do. There's no hesitation in it. No fear in the way she says it. Just something firm that wasn't there before. He searches her face, looking for doubt, for something to grab onto. He doesn't find it. She holds his gaze a second longer, then says it again, quieter this time. I do. The voice hums low from the well, pleased, patient, waiting. She turns back toward the edge. He moves with her, staying close, his hand hovering near her arm. Listen to me, he says. You don't have to carry this. She shakes her head once. I already do. That's not the same as this. It is. She steps forward. One step closer to the stone. He steps with her. Stop. She doesn't stop. Her bare feet press into the dirt at the edge, toes curling slightly as the ground dips. You had your chance, she says without looking at him. The words hit harder than anything else she's said. He freezes for half a second. That's all it takes. She takes another step. The voice hums again, louder now, satisfied. Good. He reaches out and grabs her arm, firm this time, pulling her back just enough to break her forward motion. No more burying. The words come out rough, pulled from somewhere deeper than the rest. She looks down at his hand, then back up at him. You think this is burying? His grip tightens. I know what it is. She studies his face, something shifting again behind her eyes. You didn't stay. The sentence lands slow, quiet, but it cuts deeper than anything else. His jaw tightens, his grip loosening just slightly. She pulls her arm free. I'm not you. The difference sits between them, sharp and clear. He takes a step forward again, trying to close the space she just made. You don't fix it by taking her place. She shakes her head. I'm not fixing it. Then what are you doing? She looks at the well again. Ending it. The voice hums, softer now, almost approving. Yes, he steps in front of her again, blocking the edge. You don't even know if it will end. Neither do you. Then don't risk it. She meets his again steady. You already did. Silence cuts through them, hard, unmoving. He exhales slowly, his shoulders dropping under the weight of it. I was wrong. I know. Then don't make the same mistake. She shakes her head. This isn't the same. It is. No. Her voice holds. You walked away. He looks down for a second, then back up. I came back. Too late. The echo of the voice from before slips into her words without her noticing. He hears it anyway, feels it. I'm here now, he says, quieter. She nods once. So am I. The voice rises again, clearer now, stronger. Stay. She doesn't flinch this time. I will. He reaches for her again, but she steps back before he can touch her. Don't. I'm not letting you do this. You don't get to let me. He stops. That lands. The truth in it holds him in place. She takes another step toward the edge. The stone rim is right in front of her now. The dark below feels closer, like it's rising to meet her. He watches her, every part of him tense, ready to move, but something in her face stops him, something that wasn't there before. Not fear, not something chosen. If I stay, she says quietly, it stops calling. He shakes his head. You don't know that. I know it won't stop otherwise. The voice hums again, pleased, almost warm. Good. She closes her eyes for a second, then opens them again, steady. I'll do it. He steps forward suddenly, faster than before, grabbing her arm again, harder this time. No, she looks at him, not pulling away this time. Let go. I won't. You have to. I don't. They hold there for a second, both unmoving, both set in place by something neither one can push past. Then she speaks again, softer now. You owe her. He flinches. Just a little, I know. Then let me do this. He shakes his head. That's not how it works. Then how does it? He doesn't answer. Because he doesn't know. Because there isn't a way that fixes it. She sees that. Exactly. She pulls her arm free again. Slower this time, not forcing it, just slipping out of his grip. He lets her. Not because he wants to. Because something in him finally understands he can't hold her there. She steps closer to the edge again. Right up to it now. The voice hums louder, closer, like it's just below the surface. Stay. She looks down, her face calm now in a way that feels final. I will. He moves again, fast, closing the distance in one step, grabbing her arm one last time. No more burying, he says again, firmer now. She turns her head toward him, eyes steady. You're right. For a second, hope flickers across his face. Then she says, so don't. He blinks. What? She holds his gaze. Don't bury it again. The words land, and something in him breaks open just enough. His grip loosens, that's all it takes. She pulls free, steps forward. He reacts on instinct, reaching again, but this time she's already too close to the edge. Stop, he says, his voice sharp. You had your chance, she replies, not unkind, just certain. The voice hums louder now, pleased, steady. Good. He doesn't hesitate anymore. He steps in hard, grabbing her arm and pulling her back with force. No. She stumbles back a step, surprise flashing across her face for the first time. Let go, he doesn't. His grip holds. His eyes lock onto hers. No more burying, he repeats. The words come out different now. Not just a warning, a decision. What are you doing? She asks, quieter now. He exhales once, steadying himself. Then says it, clear. Final. I go. The clearing feels different the moment he says it. Not louder, not colder. Just final in a way that presses down on everything else. She stares at him, unsure if she heard it right. You don't get to fix it, she says. Her voice is steady, but tight at the edges. He doesn't look away from the well. I don't get to leave it. That lands between them like something heavy being set down. She shakes her head slightly. That's not fixing it. I know. He steps forward without hesitation now, right up to the edge where the ground drops into stone and dark. She moves with him, half a step behind, like she still thinks she can stop him by staying close. "You hear what you're doing?" she asks. He exhales slowly. Yeah, the voice rises from below, softer than before, but clearer. Now, not pulling, not pushing, just there. "You came back." His jaw tightens. "I hear you." The silence shifts. The air holds still. Then the voice changes. It breaks just slightly. "Dad?" The word hits him like something physical. He freezes. She freezes too, but for a different reason. She turns her head sharply toward him. What did it say? He doesn't answer her. His eyes stay on the well. "I hear you," he says again, quieter this time. The voice doesn't rise, it waits. "Dad?" It says it again, smaller now. Fragile, not angry, not accusing, just waiting. He closes his eyes for a second. When he opens them, something has changed in his face. Not softness, not relief. "I'm here," he says. The words feel like they cost him something to say. The girl steps back without thinking. "No," she whispers. He finally looks at her, really looks. "It's not you," he says. She shakes her head. "That's not what I meant." The voice stays quiet now, listening, waiting. He takes a breath, long and steady. "I'm staying." The words are simple, but they settle into the space like a decision that has been waiting years to be made. The girl's voice tightens. "You're sure?" He doesn't lie. No. That honesty hits harder than anything else. She stares at him, searching for something that will pull him back. Something that won't end like this. She doesn't find it. He steps forward again. One foot over the edge, then the other. The moment he drops in, the air changes completely. Not violent, not loud, just gone in a way that makes the world feel briefly empty. She reaches out without thinking. "Wait." He doesn't answer. The dark takes him without sound. No splash, no impact, just absence. The well holds still for a second longer than it should. Then nothing. The voice is gone. The clearing doesn't echo anymore. It just stops. She stands there, arms still half raised, fingers curled in nothing. The silence is different now, not heavy, not watching, just empty in a way that doesn't ask anything back. She lowers her hand slowly. "Hey," she says, but there's no answer. She waits. Still nothing. The trees don't move. The wind doesn't come. Even the ground feels like it has stopped paying attention. "This is it," she whispers. No reply. Her breath shakes once, then steadies. She looks at the well again. It is just a well now. Stone, dark, still. Nothing looking back. She steps away from it slowly, like she doesn't trust it not to change again. One step. Then another. She waits for the voice to return. It doesn't. She waits for something to pull her back. It doesn't. She stops halfway across the clearing and looks around. "You're gone?" Nothing answers. For the first time, the silence feels complete. Not wrong, not charged, just quiet. The kind that doesn't demand anything from her. Her shoulders drop slightly, not relief, not joy, just release from waiting. She turns back once toward the well. Nothing moves, nothing speaks. "Okay," she says softly. Then she turns away. She walks back through the trees alone. The path feels different now, not easier, just hers. The branches don't close in on her the way they did before. The air doesn't press against her skin. It just exists. She doesn't look back again. When she reaches the cabin, the door is still open. Nothing inside moves, no voice, no creak, no breath. She steps inside slowly. The floor doesn't answer her anymore. The room is just a room again, broken, quiet, empty. She walks through it without hesitation this time. The name on the wall is still there. She looks at it, but it doesn't pull at her anymore. It just is. "Leela," she says quietly. No response follows. She nods once, like that's enough now. The door stays open behind her. She doesn't close it. She doesn't need to. Outside, the light feels unchanged, but something in it has softened. Not brighter, not warmer, just still. She walks down the path without stopping. The trees don't follow her anymore. The woods don't speak. The world doesn't lean in. The cabin remains behind her, waiting, but not calling. For the first time, it lets her leave.